Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Beat the Book. I am one of your hosts, BigAL Bettor, joined as always by my buddy, my pal, my brother.
MattyBets, baby. How's it going tonight?
I'm good, Matt. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there. Could be better, could be worse. Life just kind of throws you curveballs sometimes, and you just gotta, you still end up swinging on them. And sometimes you hit a home run, and other times, you strike out. So it is what it is. Other times you hit a foul ball, and you get a second chance. So we're kind of taking the crookeds with the straights right now.
We're just in here making baseball references.
Hey, baseball references. I can make some hockey references too. Sometimes it just doesn't come off the stick just right. Sometimes, your drive just hooks a little bit. I mean, we could throw a bunch out there. We love sports here. That's what the channel's about. It's about sports. It's about gambling. And, to go back to the baseball reference, every time you step up to the plate, you're taking a chance. And that's what we're doing here. We're making a bet. We're taking a chance. So everybody, welcome back to the show. Great to have you here. We're happy to be here. Sounds like we're having a great time. So hope you guys are having a great time at home too.
For sure. All right, Matt, we're going to jump into this second game in this doubleheader on Monday night. We've got the Seahawks taking on the Lions in Detroit. The spread currently, when I'm looking at it, is set at 3.5. I don't know if that's going to move before this video comes out or not. The over/under's it's set at 46.5, which is pretty solid. What are your takes on this game, and where do you see yourself leaning on this one?
Okay, so Seahawks are 3-0.
Yep.
And Lions are what, 1-2, I believe, or are they 2-1? I believe they're 1-2.
Are they?
I think they're 1-2, but maybe they're 2-1. Maybe they've gotten some wins. I just know that their offense hasn't been great. I'm still waiting for them to come out and demolish a team.
Sure.
So I think this will be that game. And I think Seattle will kind of get exposed a little bit for what they can clean up on defense. They haven't had the hardest of matchups. So I do like the Lions here in this spot at -3.5 at home in Detroit. Good old Dan Campbell and the boys to kind of make a statement win here against Seattle. The over-under, I will say, this is the first time we've talked about this. I don't really have a lean.
Okay.
Because the Lions and the Seahawks haven't really been putting up crazy points. Like I just said, the Lions' offense hasn't looked that great. What were you going to say?
Seattle's been in the 20s every single game.
Yeah, so that's fine. So let's just say they score 23 or 24. I don't know if the Lions can also do that. So depending on how the game goes, no, I know. I said that I think the Lions win this game. I don't think Seattle scores that much in this game. Seattle hasn't necessarily played the hardest of teams. So I think it'll be a good test for Seattle. I think it'll be a real, hard-nosed football match. And I don't really like anything here. If anything, I'm leaning toward the under. But that could easily come back to bite me if the Lions actually do fire it on all cylinders and just score 40 points by themselves. But I'm leaning towards the under. I don't want to take the over or the under in this game, but that's where my lean is. And then also Lions -3.5, I feel good about.
Okay. I'm going to be on the opposite side of you on that. I'm taking Seattle plus the 3.5, and I'm taking the over. And at this stage of the game, we've had 3 games from teams. We can see trend. Seattle's going to score points. We've seen that. The Lions is the weakness of their team, and Geno's been dealing the ball. Metcalf has been catching passes all over the place. Jackson Smith has been catching passes all over the place. So I expect that to continue. Kenneth Walker should be back for this game. He is questionable. They haven't had him for the last 2 games, so that's going to be an element as well. I think it's going to be a close game. It's going to come down to a field goal at the very end, and if it's a field goal at the end and the Lions win it, I still cover. I kind of like that. So I'm taking the plus 3.5, and I'm taking the over just because we know what the Lions are capable of when Jared Goff's at home, when he's in a dome, when he's comfortable, and the Lions are going to score points. And Seattle has scored 20 every single week, so I can't just not look at that and not factor that into my calculations. So if we think Seattle gets to 22, 23 points, and we think the Lions are going to win this thing by 3 like the book thinks they're going to, that gets you to 46, 47 points. So I like it.
Okay. I like the take. I respect it.
Hey, I'm just reading the tea leaves, and this is what I'm seeing,
Yeah, true. They're speaking to you on this one. At least it sounds like they are.
A little bit.
Well, we'll jump into our head-to-head. For the head-to-head, I'm going to take the Lions -3.5 at home. I think that's kind of a
Okay.
no-brainer in my opinion. But I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I do like the Lions a lot though at home. I think, like you said, Jared Goff in the dome at home, more comfortable. He just we see the stats. Like the stats literally say that he plays like almost twice as good when he's at home, if not better than
Sure.
that. So. Mm-hmm.
And when he's inside in good weather, like with no weather conditions to hamper him, he doesn't play that great outside.
Yep.
So I'm gonna take the over 46.5 for my head-to-head. Like I said before, I just think that this is gonna be high scoring and exciting, and it's on Monday night. So I think we're in for a shootout, and I'm all the way here for it. So I'm gonna take the over in mine.
Okay.
So
All right,
with that being said, we'll jump into our 4-pick parlays. If you guys have been watching the channel long enough, you guys know by now for the primetime games, we make a 4-pick parlay. We hand it out to you guys, gift wrap it, and we've hit 4 so far on the year out of this is week 4 now. So we've given out probably 12 of these. We've hit 4 of them. And they range anywhere from plus 500 all the way up to plus 2,000. And it's a nice little half unit play if you want to play it with a half unit, play it with a whole unit. So yeah, Matt, what do you got this week for your 4-pick parlay for this game?
All right. As you said, we have hit 4 as a channel, and it's actually a 50-50 split right now. We've each hit 2. So kind of hit or miss for both of us, but also, I mean, 4-pick parlays are also hard to hit. Like, you need 4 things to go right. You got to be able to take the right picks. So we're going to do that this week. We're going to take both quarterbacks here. We're taking the first one, Jared Goff, over 250 passing yards. I think he's going to be airing out the ball a lot. I think it's going to be a lot of back and forth in this game. So that's 250 passing yards for Jared Goff to go over at plus 135. We're doing Geno Smith, 2+ passing touchdowns. This is with me not thinking that Kenneth Walker. Excuse me. I do not think that Kenneth Walker's going to play this game. He's still questionable, like you said. So taking that into account, I think that they're going to have to throw the 2 touchdowns that they get in this game. I think Geno will throw both of them.
Okay.
Next, we're going Jahmyr Gibbs over 75+ rushing and receiving yards. And then 75+.
75?
Yeah, rushing and receiving. That's at minus 125. And then we got Metcalf at 60. Oh. What?
Go ahead. Metcalf what?
Metcalf at 60+ receiving. That's at minus 130.
The rushing receiving 75+, that's been a fun bet this year so far for running backs.
It has been, and it's hit more often than not. I mean, it's just a nice safety blanket that you get with the receiving yards there, too.
Yep. You just need one good screenplay where they rip one, and it's like, all right, cool, we just got it, And with how athletic all the running backs, most of the running backs are in this league now, with good hands and stuff, it's a little easier to hit when you add that in there.
Yeah, and we've kind of danced around that 70, 75 to 80. So.
Right. What did you say the plus on that was?
It's plus 950.
950. Okay. I don't necessarily hate it. And even if Kenneth Walker plays, Geno still throws him the ball too.
Yeah, exactly. So, but if Kenneth Walker does play, though, my underplay is a little in risk there. If Geno throws for 2 and Kenneth Walker gets in the end zone, then I don't see the under still hitting and Detroit covering. Yeah, so that was kind of like my idea, and my play there was, okay, let's just say Kenneth Walker doesn't play, and Seattle just says, hey, like we're 3-0, we don't need him to come back just yet. Let's make sure he's fully healthy. I was kind of just putting myself in the mind of the coach, being like, hey, the smart decision here is let him rest one more week to make sure that he's good to go, so we have him for the long stretch coming ahead in the rest of the season.
Sure, I get that, but at the same time, he has missed 2 games already, so they want him back.
Well, for sure, but they've still been winning.
But they know that this is the toughest game they'll have played so far this season. So
which you're not wrong there.
I mean, yeah, they've kind of had a little cupcake walk through where they're at, which is a controversial take with some of my friends around here in the Seattle area. All right, anyway, I'll jump into mine. I've got Jahmyr Gibbs for also the 75+ rushing and receiving.
Nice.
I've got Geno Smith for 225+ passing yards. I have Jared Goff for 225+ passing yards. And then I have DK Metcalf. This is my reach. We got DK Metcalf to get 100+ reception yards.
You know what's crazy here? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Tell me your odds.
It's plus 13.
Okay. Plus 1,300. That's a good bet. I like it. what I want to say here is this is the first time for a 4-pick parlay we've picked the same 4 picks.
People?
We had Jahmyr Gibbs,
same 4
Jared
people.
Goff, Geno Smith, and DK Metcalf. That's
I
insane
don't know
that
if
we
that's a good
both
thing or a bad thing.
we both saw the game going the same way, and we both said, okay, like obviously it wasn't the same because we had the same on everything except for Geno Smith. I didn't have him for yards, I had him for 2 touchdowns. But I mean, same names that we took on this. This is the first time this has happened. And we both see
Right.
the game pretty much the same way, where we're saying, okay, Jahmyr Gibbs is going to have a game. We got DK Metcalf is going to have a game. And then the quarterbacks are going to kind of have a little bit of fun here in a shootout or just going down the field, getting field goals back and forth. So I like the idea that we're both kind of setting the trend for this game as like a back and forth, punch each other in the mouth type game, which I love. I love the
Right.
idea of that because those games are always fun and exciting. Unless they're just kicking field goals, then it's not. But for parlays and stats, like it is nice, especially like fantasy purposes and stuff like that, because you're just getting a ton of yards every single drive. It's 40, 50-yard drives that are ending in a field goal, which is still really good for our bets that we're making on these prop.
Right, like you're not even taking a touchdown score.
Oh,
in
you
the
noticed
parlay this
that?
time.
You noticed that?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you probably
didn't
hit.
throw one on there. Yeah, no, I mean, hey, the 2 that I hit, we had touchdown scores on them, so I don't know if you're right about that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try to
Took
copy
while
you a
for
little
me.
bit this week and, not throw the touchdown on there and see if maybe I hit it my first try, and then we're just not doing touchdown scores again. But the touchdown scores, they do juice it up a little bit, but,
They do. And it's just one thing. Like they can have terrible yardage game and still like sneak a touchdown in, but it's like when you can get like rushing and receiving yards on a running back, I feel like you got to take that's more shots on goal than ripping a big one.
Yeah, for sure.
So, all right, let's jump into touchdown scores, Matt. Who do you think's going to score a touchdown in this game? Who do you like?
All right, well, we're going to stick with how we have it right now with our parlay right here. We're going to stick with Metcalf here, plus 160. I'd be shocked if you don't have him on yours too. Maybe you don't. But we got Metcalf at plus 160. Next, we're going to go Amon-Ra St. Brown at plus 140.
Okay.
And then we're going to go with Sam Laporta. But had a quiet year so far. We're going to go Sam Laporta, get right game for him at plus 205. And then we'll take another one from Seattle. I do like when I have 4 guys. I like to go 2 and 2, just kind of keep it balanced. We're going with Jackson Smith and Jigba at plus 255. I think if anything, DK will get doubled, but I think he'll still get a touchdown. And I just see the game going. Lockett doesn't really score touchdowns anymore. I don't know why. He's kind of just their slot receiver, and he kind of just gets the 10, 15-yard gains, and then they get the first downs. He's the first down guy. Jackson Smith and Jigba is kind of like their deep threat guy besides DK. So I like Jackson Smith to get open and find the end zone. And then I do have a reach pick on this one. Reach. We're going Geno Smith, anytime touchdown.
Just to run one in?
Just to run one in. It's 6.5 times your bet. If this hits, you make back all of the bets that you made on all the other touchdown scores I gave you. I don't love it, but it's a good reach. I like the fact that Geno might end up scrambling, running one in. He's still fast for being, in the league for so long, and everybody thinking that he's 40. Like, I swear, I think everybody thinks that Geno's 40. I think he's only like 30. But everybody thinks he's 40 because Geno's such an old person name that they're just like, oh, Geno, that's my grandpa's name.
Yeah.
Like,
I think he's 32.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like he's 36.
That's Derek
I
Carr.
feel like he's old. Yeah. But he's still got wheels. He's still pretty quick when he scrambles. So I like him to just maybe be able to scramble for one, just get in the end zone.
Okay. So we almost tied on your first 3 touchdown score picks.
Oh, look at that, dude. Okay, so we're seeing this game the same. Like, this game has to go the way that we think it's going to go. Not with the spread and the over-under, but just with these. We got to hit the 4 picks. We got to hit the touchdown scores. This is awesome. I love this. We haven't had this before. Just let you know, guys, we don't talk about these beforehand. Just like our Sunday lock of the weeks. We don't talk about them. We come with them. We have our own. I've never seen his paper. He's never seen mine. I don't tell him. He doesn't tell me. So that's why we're kind of freaking out here, because it's wild that we have the same picks for a game where there's hundreds of props to pick from. And we were all we cherry-picked the same names. One was a little different, but I'm excited to hear which ones you agreed with me on, though.
Okay, so I like Sam Laporta.
Okay.
And then I also like Amon-Ra.
You don't have DK.
No,
But you think he's going to have 100 yards?
Part of me took this. Okay,
Oh,
so I took
no.
Kenneth Walker at plus 120.
Okay, if he plays.
Part of the reason I took it is if he doesn't play, then it's a push and you don't lose anything. So
Okay. So I have a question. Okay. Let's
okay,
just say by the time people see this video, if they're gonna go and bet this, if they're gonna go and take your
yeah,
touchdown picks, they're like, I love Big Al's touchdown picks. I want to go and bet them all. Okay. They go to the book.
hmm
Kenneth Walker has been ruled out. Are you telling
yeah.
people right now that you're okay to sub him for DK Metcalf?
I think I'd allow it. Yeah. Sub it for
Okay.
DK Metcalf. If he's gonna have 100 yards, he's probably gonna get in the end zone, and he may have another breakaway one like he had last week, where he ripped off a 60-yard run for a touchdown. So, and that gets
80
you real close
or
to your 100
70,
yards. Okay,
75,
okay,
I think.
whatever.
Yeah, it was insane. Yeah.
It was huge. Yeah. So
Mhm.
we know he's big and fast, and so, I mean, he's having a year so far too.
He is.
So,
Hmm.
him and Gino are they're vibing out there. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't mind him. He's a big, tall guy. He's like a tight end almost, just a little faster. I feel like. So yeah,
Yeah.
in the end zone to get in the end zone, yeah, I don't mind that at all.
Mhm. For sure. Love
But if
that.
the big boy Ken Walker's in there, I like that a lot better.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Well, there you have it. We got the correction there just in case Kenneth Walker isn't playing. But
True.
yeah, Kenneth Walker all day for Al and Metcalf all day for me. But,
Absolutely, Matt. Any final words for our viewers before we check on out of here?
I don't think so. Just pay attention to the game and just keep these picks in mind as you're watching the game unfold and be like, wow, these guys actually know what they're talking about. Or these guys are morons and they don't know anything because this was the most boring game I ever watched, whatever. But I don't
Well,
think you'll be saying that. You'll be saying, man, these guys are pretty smart.
Matt, one of us has to be right because you're on the Detroit and under, and I'm on Seattle in the over. So one of us is right.
True. I mean, the over-under, watch that push at 46.5. It can't push, but it will. And then it'll be like I don't know, exactly 3.5. Just both will push somehow.
Yeah, that's math. That works. Definitely,
Yep.
definitely. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And you guys take care out there. Protect your bags. Beat the book. Let's have a good Monday Night Football. And we'll catch you guys in our recap video coming out Wednesday morning.
Sounds good to me. See you guys in the next one.